Hi everyone, Amanda here. Today I'm going to be talking about various kinds of toe or point shoe padding for your toes. The reason being is because I am having issues right now with my new point shoes, and it's because of the padding. I'm going to show you my feet and the difference of what they look like in my shoes right now, because I'm wearing two different types of padding inside. And then I'm going to start from the beginning of when I first started on Pointe and what I used to protect my toes all the way until now, and why I'm having this issue. So I'm on carpeting, so I'm not going to actually straighten my knee. I'm just putting my foot down on my platform. And if I was to go up on my shoe right now, I would actually be like this. And I have not had a problem getting onto or over my box since pretty much the beginning of my point shoe training. So very discouraging, and I'm glad I figured out the issue. So this is my right foot, and that's how it looks pretty much when I'm on Pointe, and I've broken these shoes in now pretty much. This is me really pushing. On the other side, my left foot, as you can see, my foot immediately putting the same pressure into the same area of my foot actually went beyond my platform and slightly over, and if I give it just slightly more pressure, I can easily go over my box, which is more common for me anyway, but not this early in the break-in stage. I just got these and I just started working them in. So I'm going to start in the beginning. When I was first told I could go on Pointe, the studio I was receiving my training from, my teacher, she was really strict about what we could or couldn't use inside of our shoes. So I was told we could use some lamb's wool and, to lessen the pain, and some sports tape to wrap around our feet or our individual toes. She showed us a few different ways to alleviate some of the pressure, or to help out with bunions forming, or blisters, and different ways to protect our feet. After that, about 6 or 8 months later, I had switched studios and I had gotten my second pair of shoes. At this studio, they were far more lenient as to choice of what to put inside our shoes for padding. So I went and got the original ouch pouches. This was before you could go into a dance store and there was racks and racks and racks full of choices for padding. Never mind choices just made by ouch pouch and the variations of ouch pouches. So mine were the very original first ones. And I don't have them anymore. That was a long time ago. But I have to say, they were okay, I guess. To go from just tape and lamb's wool to an actual little piece of padded fabric was really nice. So that was nice, a nice transition. From there, now these are so old, and I don't know why I still even have this, because I haven't used it in years, and I'm missing one as well, but I found it laying around. I don't know, I think these are Featherlight gel pads. If they're not, I apologize to the manufacturer who did make these, but before I made this video, I did a little bit of researching trying to uncover exactly what these were, and that's what they look like. So these are well worn in. When I stick my nails in like this, I can almost feel it on the outside. And these blue ones are the thickest ones that you can get. The inside is really beat up and torn. My toenails dug into them. They're all dirty and gross. But that, I didn't know it at the time, but this was a little much. I mean, I don't think, now that I have my own students, I don't think that I would recommend putting my students into something like this, because they're just so thick that you cannot feel the ground at all. And you have to be able to do that to advance in your technique and to be able to hold yourself on point correctly. From there, I went to, these used to be clear. These are made by the same manufacturer, I believe, because I know these ones are Featherlights. And I've gone through quite a few pairs of these. They're disgusting now, and I got new ones, but I like the amount of cushioning in here. I feel like it's just right for my personal preference and the point work that I do. For most repertoires, sometimes I choose to use something else. But for general classwork and most technique, these are good, and I recommend them to a lot of people, and they fit on my feet nicely. When I did my whole trial of the Gainer Mindens, I went into the store, and I was told that Gainer Mindens were meant to go without padding. But because, with the exception of when I first started out, because I had always had some sort of support there for my toes, I just didn't feel comfortable walking out of the store with nothing. So I was given these by Bunheads, and they are very, very thin. They're really just a little layer of fabric to slip over your toes and just create like a small barrier between your toes and the tip of your shoe. And that's about it. And in some of my other videos, I talk about the extreme difficulties I had with the Gainer Mindens, and how they did not last. But on my left foot, it was so bad and so painful, and so difficult to dance, and it created a problem with my big toe. It bruised, it locked in place, my actual toe, and with all of that discomfort, sometimes I actually resorted back to lamb's wool, and I would put little pieces of lamb's wool and mold them into the bunhead pads to give myself some extra relief. You know, all the constant like plie, releve was just getting to be too much. I also, at my local pharmacy, went and got some of these. It's in the foot care section. There's all sorts of good stuff. I actually recommend visiting this section of your local pharmacy if you're looking for protection, because sometimes you can find really good things to put in your shoes and to care for your feet that are really equivalent to what you would get at the dance store for probably a third of the price. And what I did with these is I cut them to size, and I would actually either stick them between my toes when needed or actually over my toes when needed, because it's actually a little tube. So after the Gainer Minden fiasco came to an end, I went back to my clear feather lights. Was happy. I also was trying out new shoes, trying to find the perfect shoe still, and right now I am on my second pair of Sodanza Claudia's, and I'm very happy with the shoe. That's why I went and got the second pair. However, when I went to the store, I mentioned that it was really time for new pads and that I wanted to step out of my comfort zone and try out some different ones. So, I tried these ones here, and now I am drawing a blank, completely jellos. That's what they are. They're like pillows for your toes. I tried these, and I also tried a very similar kind that had they were also white, but they were cut differently. They didn't have like the wings on the side. And what drew me to these is one of my students has them and likes them, but also they're reversible. So they're cloth on one side and they're gel on the other side. Typically, in class, I don't wear tights that go over my feet. I like to keep them rolled up, or I might wear ones that only go down to my calf. So what was nice about these is because they're reversible, I could put the gel on the inside, which feels really nice, and I could keep the cloth on the outside and still be able to slip my Pointe shoe over this and over my foot with very sweaty feet without any resistance against the gel. Well, I've had these for 3 days. I've had my new Pointe shoes for 3 days, and I've been trying to break them in, and for the life of me could not figure out why I couldn't get over my box. And I have not had this problem in years. I didn't have this problem with my first pair of Claudia's, and I didn't know what was going on. And I kept trying and trying and trying, literally like hurting myself trying, because I was pushing so hard, hanging on the bar and dipping down into a squat and all the way over my shoes and sitting on the back of my heels trying to create that arch so I would, if not over, be at least on my platform with greater ease. And nothing was working. I was making very little progress. I got so frustrated this morning that I decided just to see what would happen, and I took off one of my shoes and I put on my feather lights, my clear feather lights, in one shoe, and I left my other shoe as is with the jellos, and I rose up onto one foot, then the other, then both, and I realized that the whole time it was the padding that was creating this issue. For whatever reason, I mean, my theory is that the jellos mold really to each individual toe. They're thinner, they have these longer wings, and I think just the shape, like you can see with my fingers, I can easily press into the different areas. Unlike these, which really, they just slip over all your toes like this, and your toes are confined. And because I'm used to that, I'm fine with that. For a lot of people, they might not like that. But I think because I've been fitted for various kinds of shoes with these, I'm used to working my muscles and fitting into the types and sizes of shoes that will allow me to go right onto my box, you know, with a little bit of work and breaking in. And I don't think my muscles or my shoes, if this makes any sense, know how to do that with this, I guess, pretty drastic change in padding. So the conclusion is, I'm close with the dance shop owner. I sent her a message with my issue, and, you know, it's my fault. Like, I tried all of this stuff on at the store. I utilized her little mini dance floor and bar, felt things around, tested stuff out, and I walked out of the store feeling confident that I would like this combination of padding and shoe that I had chosen. There was no pressure to buy them. But because she is so great, and she feels badly, she's going to work with me on it, and we're going to figure it out, because now, unfortunately, I have pretty much, I guess you could say, damaged my brand new shoes, because I pushed over them so much that now I'm having trouble holding myself on the tip of my platform without going too far over. It's almost like that part of my shoe is at the end of its life, which is ridiculous. And that's when I'm wearing my original padding. So she's bringing me tomorrow, because I'm going to see her, a new fresh pair of these, and some jet glue, and I'm going to try to repair and reharden my shoes, and then break them in again with the padding that I'm used to. So I guess I just wanted to share my experience with the particular padding I've had, and for those that are looking, and that I think it's, generally speaking, it's good to step out of what you know sometimes and try new things as new things come onto the market, and if they have good reviews or you see people using them with good results. At the same time, sometimes the old school stuff that you're used to and you've been using for years, if it's working for you, stick with it. I mean, it's kind of like that saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I think that's kind of what I did. There was nothing wrong with what I was using, and instead of just getting a new pair of what I've been used to and been comfortable with, I decided to try the latest and greatest thing. So that's about it for my rant. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be making a new video soon. Thank you.